Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Peaceful Investing. Today we'll be talking about investing in Nifty indices. Nifty has many indices in which people can do investments through passive ETFs or mutual funds. The benefit of investing through these passive ETFs or mutual funds is that the expense ratio is very less, and not just that the cost is less, there is hardly there is no human interference. The returns in these indices is driven totally through a methodology. So that removes the human bias when it comes to investing. So today we'll be analyzing these few indices from the Nifty domain. First we'll be looking at Nifty 50, then Nifty 500. Nifty 50 is top 50 index made of top 50 companies by market capitalization. Nifty 500 is a broader index covering first 500 companies trading on NSE. Then Nifty 500 Value 50 is a strategy index which takes, based on the value factor, takes top 50 companies from these 500 indices and rebalances them semi-annually. So these 50 companies may change after every 6 months. But the condition is that these companies are selected based on value parameters. So price to earnings, price to book ratio should be low and dividend yield should be high. Such companies are selected into this index. Then there is Nifty 500 Momentum 50 Index. This is another strategy index from NSE. In this, out of from the 500 companies by market capitalization, 50 companies are selected based on the momentum factor. Then we'll look at the Nifty 500 Low Volatility 50. In this index, top 50 companies based on the volatility are selected from the universe of top 500 companies based on market capitalization. Those stocks are selected into this index who have the least volatility. Then we will look at the combination of low volatility and momentum. We'll come to that in a moment. All right. So let's talk about how we have driven this. So let's look at the Nifty 50 sheet. What we have done is we have taken daily value of Nifty 50 from 1st April 2005 till last Friday, 4th July 2025. This is more than 5,000 days of trading data. More than 5,000 days worth of data for all the business days on which Nifty NSE trading was there. So this captures everything for more than last 20 years for Nifty 50. If we look at the CAGR return during this period of 20 years or so, Nifty 50 has given around 15% per annum CAGR return with a volatility of 21%. During this period, there was a maximum drawdown of minus 59%. So that means if you would have invested a lakh rupees into Nifty 50, there was a time when that lakh rupee, out of that lakh rupee, only 41,000 was left. This has happened during the global financial crisis, and this happened during year 2008. So this was the maximum drawdown, and I believe it is because of such maximum drawdown figures people prefer not to invest in equities. But let's look at whether we can do it something better over here, because we see higher returns as compared to fixed deposit. Over here we see CAGR of 15%. And remember the fact that this is the Nifty 50 total returns index. Whatever indices we are discussing, we have taken total returns index. That means whatever dividends were given by these companies while they were part of this index, they were reinvested into this index. So if you look in today's terms, Nifty 50 value, though the market value is around 25,000 or so, the Nifty total return index value is 38,000 something. That is because of the dividends which have been reinvested in this over the period of time. Now let's look at the rolling returns. What do you mean by rolling returns? Rolling returns is, it's especially useful for people who invest in the SIP way, because we all get monthly incomes either through salary or business. We would like to do regular investing, right? So rolling returns matter all the more. So when it comes to rolling returns, we should look at the longer periods. Nifty 50 is giving rolling returns of 12% across 5, 7 and 10 years on an average. So if you invest, let's look at the returns. If you invest 100 rupees today, what will it be after 5 years, 7 years or 10 years? If you invest 100 rupees next month, what will it be after 10 years? So if you take average of all these period of 5 years, 7 years or 10 years, and then you get the returns, then these are the average rolling returns. Okay. Hmm. Similarly, we have calculated minimum and maximum values of these rolling returns. So there was a point when maximum rolling return for Nifty was, for 10 years, was 17%. 17% CAGR. There was a time when 3-year rolling return was 42%. That means every year for 3 years, if we would have calculated the CAGR during that period, it came out to be 42%. Across that 3-year period, the CAGR came out to be 42%. Okay, but let's there's also a case wherein across 3 years the CAGR was minus 5%. Across 5 years, not even FD returns, minus 1%. And across 7 years, it was 5%. Across 10 years, it was 5%. So this is the reason why people shy away from investing in equities. Okay. Now let's look at the summary view and see for other indices as well, along with Nifty 50, and see if we can do something better. So here is the summary view. As we saw, for Nifty 50, CAGR from April 2005 to till date is 15%, volatility is 21%, maximum drawdown is 59%, and 10-year average return, rolling return is 12%. Let's look at Nifty 500. The CAGR surprisingly same as Nifty 50, 15%. Volatility is 20%. Maximum drawdown is higher as compared to Nifty 50, minus 64%. And 10-year rolling return is 13%. Now, many people like us, many people in our system believe in value investing. Let's see whether that applies over here or not. To that end, we have picked up Nifty 500 Value 50 Index. So this has given Nifty 500 Value 50 Index has given returns of 17% CAGR during last 20 years or so, but with a very high volatility of 26%, a maximum drawdown of 66%. That means there was a time when 100 rupees invested in Nifty 500 Value 50 got down to 34 rupees, which is very drastic. This again happened during the global financial crisis of 2008. 10-year rolling returns, again very much same as Nifty 500 or Nifty 50, 13%. Not much difference over here. But if you see, the 1 year and 3 year rolling returns are very high as compared to Nifty 50 and Nifty 500. But over a longer period, it remains same as the Nifty 50 and Nifty 500 indices. This skewedness of return, even though the longer period returns remain close to what it is there for Nifty 50 and 500, but the shorter period returns are much higher, and this maximum drawdown of 66%, that is actually reflected in the high volatility number of 26%. And CAGR also is pretty close to Nifty 50 and Nifty 500. Now let's look at if we can find something better. Let's look at Nifty 500 Momentum 50 Strategy Index. The CAGR during the last 20 years is somewhere around 23%. The volatility over here, which is much higher than Nifty 50, 500 or Nifty 500 value 50. The volatility, though slightly higher than Nifty 50 and 500, is much lower than Nifty 500 value 50. So as compared to Nifty 500 value 50, momentum offers better returns at a lower volatility, far better returns at a lower volatility. But if we look here, the maximum drawdown is even more than Nifty 500 value 50. It is 70%. So during that is a period when 100 rupees got down to just 30 rupees. And that's it is very difficult to live through such volatility. You will lose confidence in the markets and you will run away. One will run away. I would for sure if I lose 70% of my portfolio. But if you look at the rolling returns, 10-year rolling return is 21%, 7-year rolling return is highest 20%, 5 year is also 20%, 1 year, 3 year rolling returns are also on the higher side. In fact, all the indices which we have evaluated over here, this has the highest rolling returns all across the board. Okay. Now let's look at Nifty 500 low volatility 50. This index has CAGR returns in the last 20 years of 18%. But if we look at the volatility numbers, even though the returns of the Nifty 500 low volatility 50 is lower than Nifty 500 momentum 50 and higher than rest of the indices Nifty 50, Nifty 500, Nifty 500 value 50, the return is higher, CAGR is higher for Nifty 500 low volatility 50. Other than momentum, the low vol index has higher return than all other indices. Volatility is by far the lowest. It is just 16%. And if you look at the maximum drawdown is much less, 48%. Minimum across all the indices which we have noted down over here. And 10-year rolling return, though higher than Nifty 50, 500 and 500 value 50, it is lower than the 21% of Nifty 500 momentum 50. It is 15%. Across 3 year, 5 year, 7 year period also, it is 15-16%. So in this case, at least if someone invests in Nifty 500 low vol 50, they would be there are high chances that they would hold on to their investments, and probably across all the indices they would be able to bear down this drawdown, because in rest of the cases the drawdown is very high. Even in Nifty 50, close to 60% drawdown is very high. So Nifty 500 low volatility 50 offers higher rolling returns, less drawdown, less volatility, and decent enough CAGR. So returns per unit of volatility is probably higher on Nifty 500 low volatility 50. Now, if somebody wants high returns, high CAGR returns, high rolling returns, then they should probably invest in Nifty 500 Momentum 50. But they need to have heart to bear the maximum drawdown of 70%. But if somebody wants to stay in the market and cannot bear so much of volatility and such max drawdowns, probably they should invest in, and they don't want to run for higher returns at the cost of volatility, then they should invest in Nifty 500 low volatility 50. Maybe somebody who wants higher returns as well as uh, low volatility, what they can do is they can invest 50% in 500 Nifty 500 low volatility 50 and Nifty 50, rest of the 50% Nifty 500 momentum 50. So the CAGR returns over there would be 21%, volatility would be 20%, drawdown still remains high, maximum drawdown would be 63%, but and 10 years, but 10-year rolling returns would be 18%. So over here you find a midway between low volatility and momentum 50. And across 3, 5, 7 years, the returns remain 18%, 19% rolling returns, which is not bad, which is very good. So based on, and there are many other options in Nifty indices. We have analyzed just these options. But what I'm trying to say is there's much more Nifty indices they have to offer in terms of passive investing other than simple vanilla indices like Nifty 50 or Nifty 500. And over here, what we also observed is Nifty 500 value 50 in terms of rolling returns, maximum drawdown, and volatility uh, may not be a great index. And what we observed, the other observation is that Nifty 500 low volatility 50 scores better than any other index when it comes to maximum drawdown and volatility, and Nifty 500 momentum 50 when it comes to CAGR returns or rolling returns scores better than any other index, which amongst what we have analyzed over here. Thank you. That's all for today. Disclaimer, please note this video was just for educational purpose. This was not an investment advice. Please do your own research before making any investments. I hope we keep bringing more videos to you to share more information with you. Thank you. Thanks for watching.